Greetings and welcome to Hexed Countered. I'm Joe. It is a new month. It's February, and that means it's time for a channel update. Now, in the past, I've had two different formats I've used for my channel updates. One, of course, being more analytical. How did the channel do in the previous month? What were our top performing videos, etc., etc. The other one, of course, was more of a look ahead and what we're going to be doing in the upcoming current month. Well, that is the plan now is to actually combine the two of them together to some extent. So we will take a look at the analytics. It'll be shorter than it used to be. We'll just hit on the high points, just some of the numbers, which videos did particularly well, was the top video of the month, etc. Stuff like that, very simple and straightforward. The other part, which will follow immediately thereafter, will be a look ahead at what the plan is for February. Now, some of it's in flux, as I always say. Life comes up and things happen and things change. Stuff arrives that I wasn't expecting occasionally. There's a little bit of up in the air about that. Just the standard disclaimer. But we are going to take a look at what will be coming up. We have a couple of new features that I would like to introduce. In terms of features, I mean like a kind of an ongoing series, similar to something like midweek magazines or Solitaire Sunday. Something that's going to happen fairly regularly, hopefully, and something that will hopefully be a little bit more interactive with you guys, the audience. So that will be at the second part of the video. So let's get things started and take a look at how the channel did in January. All right, we already said our hellos on camera, so let's dive right into the juicy details of our January analytics, shall we? Total views, we racked up 26,158 views, which is an impressive 50% increase over December. Apparently all those late night gaming marathons have paid off, at least for the channel stats. We clocked in 2,527.7 hours of watch time. That's a 30% jump compared to last month. That's a lot of hours, folks. That's practically enough time to maybe finish a campaign in Pacific War. We welcomed 154 new recruits to our gaming battalion. That's up 45% over December. Either the free stacks worked or you guys really dig what's going on here. New content, we pumped out 19 new videos in January. No wonder my editing software is giving me dirty looks. And we added 10 shorts, which were our top 10 countdown for 2024. And if you haven't checked those out, well, don't worry. They're extra short, blink, and you might miss them. Our biggest winner this month was the first look video for Total War Rome, the board game. But hold on to those Legion helmets because Battles in the East Volume 3's first look came in a super close second. The difference was about the width of a sword's edge. Okay, so that was our statistical look at how the channel did last month. Now let's talk about what's going to happen this month. So we're going to start it off by talking about a couple of new shows, I guess, or features, whatever you may prefer to call them, basically recurring thematic type of content. And just so you get a feel, I've already mentioned kind of what they would be in last month's update. I fleshed out the idea a little bit more, so we're going to talk about that. And let's just get right to it. Now that we've celebrated our glorious January victories, let's set our sights on February and beyond. Keep your dice tower handy because we've got some new shows and upcoming content that'll have your tabletop itching for action. First up, I'm thrilled to announce a new segment called Hexed Counters. Each episode will spotlight an overlooked gem. Maybe it's from a smaller publisher or a new designer, or just an older title that never got the love it deserved. We'll be diving in to figure out why these games deserve a second, or maybe even first look. If it's got a hex and it's been collecting dust, it's fair game. Next, we've got From the Library, where I open my vault, aka that teetering shelf in the corner, and pull out a selection of games that have never graced the channel before. Each episode will be themed, maybe by publisher, maybe by historical period. Then it's up to you to vote on which game gets the full coverage treatment. Democracy at its finest, my friends. And we're not stopping there. Check out some of our scheduled content pipeline. Midweek Magazine is featuring a playthrough of Steamroller Tannenberg 1914 from Ya Magazine, number 10. Trenchfoot is optional, but recommended. A playthrough of the game Grant, the Western Campaign 1862 from Compass Games. Solitaire Sunday will continue with a playthrough of Okinawa, the last battle of World War II, because who doesn't love little solo missions on a quiet Sunday morning? Sports Saturday is bringing the blitz with Fury Football. Yes, you heard that right. Football meets Fury. Set your helmets to extra padded. And of course, we'll keep rolling out some brand new first looks and gameplays for several upcoming titles, so keep those binoculars at the ready. And last but certainly not least, time permitting, we'll also be debuting a third new show called Back to the Front. In this series, we'll revisit a game that got a first look in the past but never made it to the gameplay table. Think of it like that friend you invited to game night once, but you never actually got around to playing with. Well, we're dusting off the counters and giving these games the spotlight they deserve. Just call it Redemption Day. That's it for our February channel update. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Y'all are the real MVPs of this tabletop squad. We've got a ton of awesome stuff on the way, so stay tuned, keep those dice warmed up, and remember, always roll like you mean it, unless you're rolling snake eyes. Then pretend it never happened. See you in the next video.